All right, let's get right into this. First question. Have you ever seriously considered quitting social media? No, I have not ever considered quitting it. But I guess when I first started, I never actually thought I was gonna get into it to begin with. I was, back then very self-conscious. I didn't want to post anything about myself on the internet. And as soon as I did, I got a lot of positive feedback that has kind of just kept me going. I've been having the most fun posting, every day on TikTok, Instagram, that type of stuff. And there's been nothing, that has made me think otherwise than just to keep enjoying it and having fun. Next question. If you could find out one thing about your future, what would it be? I don't really want to know much about my future. I think it's kind of nice to have the surprise. But I would love to know, what it holds in the next 3 to 5 years. If one day maybe I will be working with Marvel or DC or Star Wars. I'm the biggest nerd at heart, and I would love more than anything to, tell the little Nate that grew up that he got to be a superhero or work with one of these companies. So I'd love to know that. But yeah. If you had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would you choose? A chicken burger. Hamburgers are my favorite food of all time. I love them. I could eat them all the time. But I am kind of a health nut at this point, so I feel like a chicken burger is a nice in-between where I wouldn't get tired of it, but at the same time, I would feel decent eating it every day. Okay, what advice would you give your past self? The most important advice I'd give my past self, or anybody for that matter, is be yourself, love who you are, and don't be afraid to show the world exactly who that is. For a long period of my life, I didn't necessarily pretend to be someone else, but I definitely wasn't being who I was. Showcasing my love of my fandoms and all that type of stuff. And if there's anything I've learned is tolerance and acceptance is something that every single person needs to have. So the start to that is accepting yourself and being tolerant of who you are. Loving yourself. What advice would you have for someone who wants to be in social media or a social media creator? I would just tell them to enjoy it. It's one of those things that, especially with social media or posting on Instagram or TikTok, there's gonna be a lot of hate comments no matter what. A lot of people are on these apps just to, bring other people down for no reason. And you're not always gonna have a hit. Not every video is gonna do well. Most of the time it's not. So you have to enjoy what you're doing. Whether that's the process of going through the creation of the videos or the pictures, or what you're actually putting out there into the world and knowing that you're making a difference. You have to enjoy that whole thing, because the reward you get is in the actual creation of the product. A lot of times you don't get much else with that. So don't try and be a social media influencer or creator just to have fame or money or anything like that, because it's probably not going to happen. Just do it because you love it. What's your favorite movie of all time, or movies of all time? Hercules. Any Disney movie is my favorite. I love Disney. As you guys can tell, I'm a big kid at heart. But Hercules has been my favorite movie since I was a child growing up. I've been extremely lucky, got to meet Anastasia, who is the artist of Hercules. And it just really changed my life when I was going through a really hard time, to the point where I was able to, feel like I finally belong and be who I was. Hercules has made that happen. What is my biggest pet peeve? My biggest pet peeve, honestly, is being late. I don't have a lot of pet peeves, but here's the thing. I do not care if other people are late. It doesn't bother me. Just let me know. But if I'm in a situation where, something happens, whether it's traffic or one of my friends is causing me to be late, it drives me wild, because I want to make sure that I'm on time in case someone else has something planned or scheduled. You don't want to be the reason that someone else misses out on anything else. So that's probably my biggest pet peeve. What would be one superpower you would choose to have? So I think for me, I wouldn't have a superpower that is, you know, strength-based or speed-based or really anything, I guess, aggressive. If I could have one superpower, it'd be something similar to Mantis. I would want the ability just to like make people happy, because I feel like there's enough conflict. And if you're just gonna, you know, go in with, the superpower to hurt somebody, you're not gonna really solve the problem necessarily. I think if you can make people happy, you can diffuse situations that are bad. I'd love to have a power kind of more similar to like Mantis from Guardians. What's your favorite video that you ever posted? Well, my favorite video I ever posted was actually probably about my third video. When I first posted to TikTok, I really wasn't sure what I was doing. But after about the second one, I was like, oh man, this is a lot of fun. I can do something really creative. And I remember seeing this one trend where people were doing these Superman push-ups. So you do a push-up and jump in the air and spread your arms, and you would slow it down and cut these clips. Every time you're in the air, you cut the clip. So people were doing that, you know, just doing in a kind of, you know, a push-up scenario. I dressed up as Peter Pan and did that, so I made it look like I was kind of flying through Neverland, but I was like just in my apartment, and I had the most fun doing it. I ended up actually taking my bedding, throwing it down on the floor, so that every time I did my push-up, I would land on my bed mattress and not on the floor, because I was just going as hard as I could. And it was an absolute blast, but it also took a lot of effort. I think making that video took probably, you know, between everything I did with the filming and the editing, it probably took like 6 to 8 hours. It was crazy. When did you first go viral? So I kind of went viral over I would say a long period of time. I wouldn't say there's like one video that made me go viral, but definitely I started my content very wholesome Disney, you know, and eventually, because I am kind of a fitness nut, I started posting a little bit more fitness stuff and ended up doing a little bit of fitness meets, you know, Disney fandoms, and it kind of became these Disney thirst trappy things where I would be different characters, whether Spider-Man or Hercules or Superman, and I might have my shirt off and, you know, my abs are showing, and and that got a lot of traction from some communities I didn't expect. But you know what, the people that have come to my page have been the absolute best people in the world, and I absolutely adore the community that we've fostered, and I kind of owe it to that. So yeah, fandom thirst traps. When was the time in your life you felt like you were at a crossroads, and how did you decide to overcome it, or what did you do? So many people know about this, not everybody, but there was a point in my life where I was in a long-term relationship that lasted about 10 years long, and it was not a healthy relationship by any means. It was very toxic, and I came out of that relationship overweight. I had depression, I had no self-esteem, I had no self-confidence, I didn't know what to do with myself. And it took me a very long time to kind of overcome that and you know, start to love myself again. I went through the process of basically watching Disney movies, because those were my safe place, my comfort place, watching Hercules over and over again, and from that I was like, you know, where do I belong? Where do I fit in? You know, like Hercules, and I started going to the gym, because one of the things, you know, that I thought for myself was, even if I can't be perfect, if you know, people don't love me because I'm not good enough, I'm gonna do the best I can. So at least I can love myself. And that's where it all kind of began. You know, I got really invested into the Disney community, going to Disneyland quite often, or Disney World, and at the same time training. I started with 15 minutes a day working out, and now I work out every day for, you know, over an hour, and I've developed these wonderful communities of, you know, people in fitness, people in fandoms, and it's just been so rewarding. It keeps me moving, and I've really found a way to not only love myself, but hopefully spread that love to everyone else that has come across my page or anything like that. So I definitely overcame that part of my life through friends and family and fitness, and just learning how to love myself and be the best version of who I am. Do you see social media as a long-term career path? If not, what could you see yourself doing? I don't see it as a long-term thing. I think, well, yes and no. Here's the thing. I think social media will continue forever, right? Social media is part of our life. Do I think it's going to be TikTok and Instagram forever? No, I don't think so. I think things are going to change, and that might not be the platform I'm on. And will I be as popular as I am 10 years from now? Probably not. Things change, and I understand that. But I'll always utilize it, right? I always want to have a voice. I always want to be able to make an impact, make a difference if I can. So I do think I'll always have a social media. I would love to bolster that and utilize what I have now to get into, modeling, acting, anything where I can take my presence and my voice and be able to use that to reach an audience greater than the communities I have. I understand right now the communities I have are the people that are already on my page, but I would love to have a voice where I can extend that further past what I already have. And two, like I said before, I would love to be a superhero. I would love to get into acting or modeling or anything like that. Just be a part of the things that have inspired me and really made me who I am today. So maybe, we'll see, that'd be amazing. If you had to describe yourself in 4 words, what would they be? Optimistic, very optimistic, always half glass full, hopeful. A lot of times I think the world and a lot of things that are going on in our lives are kind of dark, but I'm hopeful that things will end up the right way. Kind of like the good guys are always winning in movies. Determined. I think I put a lot of effort into the things I'm doing and strive to be the best version of myself. Like I said, whether that's through fitness or education or anything like that. So determined. And then finally, I would say loyal. I would like to say I'm a people pleaser, but I'm a people pleaser because I am very loyal to my friends and my family and my loved ones. And I think honesty and trustworthiness is the most important attributes that a person can have. So yeah, that's what I'd say. I'd say optimistic, hopeful, determined, and loyal. All right, and last question, who are your role models? Okay, so I've had this question before, and I've never really had a role model, right? My role models growing up were the people in Disney movies or, on the TV that I saw. They weren't like an actual person. Now I can kind of look at the people I know and I can tell you who my role models are. And I've got different role models for different things. But the first one is my girlfriend, Nicole. The activism she does, the way that she uses her platform to, try and make the world a better place, more accepting, more tolerant. She's absolutely a role model to me in that element. My friend Nemo, he is the happiest guy I know. He always goes into any conversation with the intentions of being your best friend and just spreading joy and making everyone feel accepted. So the way he enters a conversation and is a friend to people, he's my role model there. Corey Tunge, he is absolutely my role model when it comes to social media and pushing, right? Like, if you guys have seen his YouTubes or his TikToks or anything like that, he has made a name for himself and he is just gonna keep going and keep pushing himself. He is non-stop. So he's definitely a role model to me there, Corey is. And finally, my last role model would be Andreas Deja, who, one of the sweetest people I've known. He, of course, was the artist and creator of Hercules, my favorite movie that has impacted me so much. So just in that character itself that he made, Hercules has been a role model to me. But ever since meeting him and getting to know him and his partner, Roger, they have been role models to me as, how to take care of your friends and your family, how to treat people from out of town, how to just, be accepting and giving and just be good people. So yeah, those are my role models. So yeah, those are all the questions. But thank you so much, Famous Birthdays, for letting me do this, talking a little bit about myself. And everyone here watching, or if you've come across my page or you're new to my page, I just want to say thank you, I love you, and I hope to see you soon. Bye guys.